Hi there, it's David. It's the 5th of October and this is the first day of doing some preliminary exploratory work on the body for the GT6. As you can see, I've got it upside down on the rotisserie and a low-tech mechanism to keep it from flipping over. It's pretty well balanced, I must say. It's just that small. Well, it's a robust clamp, but it doesn't take much to keep it in its position once you rotate it. Anyway, I'm just going to walk through and show you some of the stuff I've been looking at today. I'm going to start at the back. Now, this is an area that I knew is going to be a cause of problems. It's the, what do they call it, the rear quarter panel, I think. It's a pretty standard place from what I've seen for rust to be occurring. Now, the nice thing is, some initial wire wheeling seems to indicate that this inside lip of the fender is in pretty good condition. It's the flat metal along, well, it's curved, but it's the outside skin here on that rear quarter panel, right up into here. Now, I've read that apparently there's a finisher piece that you can get for this whole curve along here, so I guess I'll have to look into that, because it looks like the rust goes all the way back to about here. Haven't wire wheeled down this way yet, but just under my fingertips it feels pretty good. So that's going to have to be worked on. I'll get the wire wheel up there, but that's, even without the wire wheel, it's pretty obvious that that's going to need work. But the nice thing is that it's a relatively contained area, so kind of like this. And so I think I should be able to patch that. I'll have to try my hand at making up some of my own patch panels, but that's what this project is about, learning new things. Now, the nice thing is the inside of the wheel well is in pretty good shape. I've cleaned it all out with the wire wheel, and there's surface rust on there, but other than the surface rust, it seems to be in pretty good shape on this side, which is the upside down, it's the driver's side. I'm just going to pause here for a second and go and get the work light. Alright, that's a little bit better. You can see that, yes, while there is surface rust, and even if we scoot around that way, underneath the lip, again, surface rust, but no rust through, no perforations that I can see. So that looks to be in pretty good shape. Until we come back up here to what I believe is the lower B post, is what that's called. So right here where the wheel arch meets that bottom corner, it's going to have to be a lot of work done there. And then, of course, this section here where I've removed the paint. So that, again, that's not too bad. I think that seems to be curved in just one direction. So I think maybe with a little bit of patience, I should be able to make a panel that can patch that. So that shouldn't be too bad. Floor. The rear portion of the floor actually looks to be pretty good, except along the seam here. There's a fair amount of rust back there. A bit sturdier towards the rear, but as you move towards the front, it gets worse and worse. So I've got entire panels that my wife bought me as a birthday present about 25 years ago. So I will probably just replace the whole floor pans, just for the ease of simplicity. Again, I have replacement sills. I think I mentioned that in an earlier video. So even though this one doesn't look to be in too bad a shape, a little bit of spottiness there, haven't wire wheeled that away. On the underside, that actually looks to be in pretty good condition. Actually, you know what? I may not replace that one. Depends on how the inner strengthener looks. So we'll have to play that one by ear. And then, of course, back up here in the front, in the corner of the A post, lots of work to be done. Not surprising. And for this, you can see the rust goes back to about here, and then that's pretty bad. The inner panel here as well, on the inside, you can see that's pretty well rotted. So I may have to take a big section off of here so that I can get to that inner panel to do the repair on that. Again, watching lots of other people's videos and seeing the kind of patching that they do gives me hope that that is doable. And then, of course, that little corner piece up there, that's in pretty rough shape. Around to the other side, pretty much the same story. Over here, this front corner, and on the inside here, this sill is in a lot worse shape. This is the passenger side. So on this one, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to replace that whole sill. As I mentioned, I've got the replacement part, and again, the floor pan. I've got entire floor pan for both sides, so I may just do the whole thing. And again, here on the bottom of the B post. Now this one's a little bit worse because it's oops, wrong button. It's not just along here, but this whole bottom section is pretty rotten. So I'm going to have to cut that out and see how that looks. And then it goes through to here. You can see there's going to have to be some patching done here. But like the other side, the inside of the wheel arch is in fairly good shape, except just again up in this one corner. So a little bit of patching there, and I think otherwise, until you come around here to again the rear quarter panel, same sort of thing. Some more extensive rusting and rotting here on the end of the wheel arch. That one might be a little bit more of a challenge, but I've seen it done. And then outside here, recreating that curve along here, that looks to be a challenge. And again, the finisher along that back side. The trunk pan, good shape. Rear valence, not so much. You can see if I can get the light in there. You can see holes all along the back there. A bit of Swiss cheese. Same thing on the other side. And when the tub is in the opposite orientation, top up, you can see along the seam under here. Yeah, I'll show it. Yeah, there it is. That seam right there. Fair amount of rusting in there as well, so I have to see about that. A little bit around the lights, but I don't think that's too extensive. And that really, there's a couple other spots on the inside, on the top of the wheel arch on the other side. But other than that, that's pretty much the extent of it. So I think this is a very doable exercise. First time I've done anything like this, not extensively experienced in doing metal work, so it's going to be a learning experience, but that's what it's all about.